Okay, here we go. All right, so I am going to I'm going to again start this morning off with a little slow dance with myself. So, I'm going to see if you can take an exhale and kind of bring the weight of your body down low in our feet. So sometimes when we're feeling tight or restricted, it's almost like our feet resist the weight of our body, kind of taking the weight over our feet. But instead, let's see here if we can't just get low and connect and get a little deeper. Good. And I'm going to kind of press down through my feet to a ball heel, maybe lifting one up. Good. Just start to feel myself dropping in. Good. And then let's go ahead and take a second and hold your feet steady and then move your weight into one and then the other. So you just feel a little shift. Feel the inner arch of the foot connecting as it takes weight. Feel the outside edge of the foot firming, lengthening. Good, as we move lado y lado aquí. Good. And then I want you to pause with your weight right here in the center of your feet. And then let's move the tailbone. Move the tailbone forward and back and forward and back. And just see again, where is there maybe tightness, stiffness that we're going to encounter just by moving. Good. One hip to the side, one hip to the other side. Good. And then from there, we're going to create some circles, moving the pelvis all the way around, and then making those circles travel in the opposite direction. Good. And then from there, let's start to send the tailbone back. And then come up, let the sternum lift nice and tall, moving the tailbone underneath you. And then exhale back. And then up. Good. So I'm not really pushing into my thighs. I'm just feeling my hands sliding down the thighs here. Good. Vamos a intentar 2 o 3 más. Let's just try 2 or 3 more. Good. And then bajando aquí. So let the head and tail rise up. And then let your chin move in. Feel the back of your neck stretch. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, stretching underneath. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, stretching underneath. Inhale, up. And exhale. So then from here, I'm just going to pause and lift my head above the shoulders so I feel extension in my spine, tailbone going out, top of the head moving out. And then I'm going to just sweep with my arms just a few times. Good. And let them sweep the other way. Good. Hold the arms out and then lightly pulse the thighs down and up. Good. So again, feeling that weight grounding. Beautiful. Try a couple more. And then let's exhale, come up, and then shift the weight sort of side to side. And we're going to create a reach as we shift now, feeling yourself press down into the floor to discover that reach. Good. And maybe one foot comes up, and then the other as you continue to reach side to side, feeling a little connection to the inner thigh, outer hip. Good. Maybe feeling the feet move a little wider apart. Good. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Body's floating. Exhale, exhale. Beautiful. So then 2 arms. We're going to land in a big wider shape here. Let's cross the midline. Inhale, come up. Again, feel the leg muscles hug the bones. Up like that. Good. So as you come up, you feel the firming through your bottom body. Good. Let's try this just one more time. Beautiful. Each direction. And then from here, let's go ahead and turn your toes out and let the arms sweep up and then come down to the center. Arms move out with the thighs. Afuera, afuera. Y ahora adentro y arriba. Good. So just waking up. Toes balls of the feet, your heels, feeling the kneecaps move out. Good. And then we're going to reverse what's happening with our arms. So they'll come through the center, up and down, through the center, up and down. We'll just feel our body floating. Good. So I want to pause now with the knees bent, the arms out for a moment, and then inhale and exhale side to side. So the rib cage. Good. And we'll add our arms into this. We'll reach and up, kind of reach out into a diagonal and up, reach out to a diagonal and to the center, out, to the center, out, to the center, and out, to the center. Let's pause. Raise your right heel and then circle the arms. 3, 2, 1. Circle the other way. 3, 2, 1. Left heel, circle the arms. 3, 2, 1. Other way, circle. 3, 2, 1. Good. 2 heels up, 2 arms out, circle. 3, 2, 1. Other way. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, take the arms up and now lightly pulse the thighs down and up. 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels down. Push into the floor. We're going to turn our weight to face the right side. And just begin by putting your hands here back behind the head and bending and straightening your front knee. So you can feel the 2 hips. Good. So I'm going to leave my left hand behind my head, take my right hand across my body, and just feel that the hips stay lined up. Good. As I'm bending and straightening my front knee. And then from here, let's place 2 hands on your low back so you feel the chest open. And you can again begin to feel a little back bend. Good. From your back bend, we're going to find a little extension in the spine. You'll stretch over, maybe putting the hands here on the low back. Good. And then I'm going to take my left hand here to my right ankle and work to just extend the leg. Breathing or falling over. It's early yet. Exhale, taking that arm up. Let's go ahead and switch directions. So now I'm going to just start bending and straightening my front knee, pushing through the floor. Good. And then let's put the hands behind the head so you can just take a moment to feel the weight, the head staying lined up with the tail. Good. Now the left hand crosses the body. Again, as you continue to bend the knee. Good. And then from here, we're going to take 2 hands to the low back. Hold that bend, feeling an arch. And then exhale, pressing into the back foot, picking the arms up for a moment. Good. And then I'm going to come, extend my spine forward. Good. Trying to really feel where my sits bones are in space. And then exhale, come take my right hand to my left foot, stretch my toes out. And inhale, come up. And now just step my 2 feet together here at the edge of my mat, top of my mat, with my right side facing the pantalla, hacia la pantalla. I'm just going to rock the weight a little bit side to side in my piecitos. Good. And then from here, go ahead, take 2 arms up. Exhale, pull the weight of my body down. Take my hands here to the right side for a moment. See about lifting your left foot, holding it lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Setting it down gently, switching sides. 2 hands to the left pierna, and then you'll take your right pie arriba. 10, or bueno, let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale. And then exhale, let the hands slide down the legs, let the head melt here. Chin down and up, arriba y abajo, arriba y abajo. And then we're gonna pull and lift the sternum high, place the palms here on the floor, step the right leg back, the left leg back. Good, and then we're gonna rock and roll your weight here through your feet. 3 and 2 and 1. Good, and then opening the chest and shoulders, pushing back with the hands. Evenly go ahead now, lift the right leg. So reach your left leg into the floor again, trying to keep the hips steady. Bend the knee and let it come up. Good, so now we're gonna place the foot behind the hand, push the back foot down. Inhale, take the arms up. Good, so again, discovering a little warrior one. And then from here, I'm gonna twist toward my front leg. Good. I'm gonna let this hand come down now. And then the opposite arm, so my right hand comes over my ear. Good, and then we'll exhale, set that down. Take a big breath. Let the back knee fold. Get a stretch in there. Good, and then we're gonna push in the tailbone right back up through a little Parsvottanasana. And then let's exhale and lift the back leg. So again, just trying to find a right angle between your two femur bones. And we'll let the head release. Good, so powering up the legs through the femurs. And then let's exhale, set that down slowly. Turn inward through the feet into a little Parsvottanasana. So estamos girando hacia la pantalla. You're turning away from the screen so that we can see each other. And now let's turn towards your opposite leg. Muy bien, step the back foot in, push into both feet, and then once again, so now we're on the other side of the mat. We're just gonna lightly mover, lado y lado y lado, feeling your belly connected, strong, encontrando el movimiento. Good. So then inhale, take the two arms all the way up. Feel the tailbone float down, the belly pull in. Good. And then from here, let's exhale, find a little forward bend, shaking your head no, nodding your head yes. I want to go back to a little lift here. So take your hands to the right knee, and then we're going to lift the left foot. Good, without the pelvis tucking under, so try to keep it right where it is. 5, and elongating spine. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, setting that down, and then lightly again, not letting the pelvis tuck under, but keep it right where it is. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Setting that down easy. Gently go ahead, let the head melt down low. Place the palms, colocamos las manos, towards your feet. Now step the feet away from the hands, and again, just a little reach. Alcanzando por los talones, you're just reaching through the heels. 2, and 1. Exhale, lift the hips and pelvis up, so feel that big release as the tailbone rises. So right now we'll think, can I spread out my hands and make a lot of space entre mis articulaciones? Now can I lift the left leg up, bend the knee, place the foot, colocamos el pie detrás de la mano, behind the hands, the foot comes, anchoring your dos besitos, 2 feet, and estirando arriba, stretching up. Good. So now I'm going to take this opposite elbow and really reach the sits bone back. Good. I'm now going to let that hand come down to my foot, and then the top arm over my ear, and I can find that reach through the fingertips. Good. And then let's exhale. Set that down gently. Take your back knee, let it bend into, so we'll feel ourselves move the sacrum in. The act of the back moving in is what is going to stretch your hip. Vamos a estirar la cadera por mover la espalda adentro. Muy bien. So then from here, let's go ahead, exhale, reach that back up. And we're gonna find a little bit of energetic opposition here. So one thigh subiendo, otro muslo. Good, making it more vertical, más vertical, más vertical. Good. And then from here, let's just exhale. Bring that foot in underneath you. Take two hands, two ankles, shaking the head no, nodding the head yes. Let's push right into our feet. And then here at the top of the mat, once again, vamos a bailar. You're going to just dance nice and slow, steady, easy. Good. Maybe a roll through the shoulders. Good. A little stretch through the toes, los dedos, las plantas del pie, the balls of the feet, your talones. Good. And then let's inhale, sweep, take two arms, arriba, arriba, muy arriba. And then exhale, let the sternum move forward, taking it down. So now I'm going to inhale, look up, and exhale, step the weight of the body back once again. This time, let the elbows come down. And if you like, create a little vinyasa here. Good. Exhale, lifting. Beautiful. So now I'm going to let my left leg lift. I'm going to bend. I lied to you. I totally lied to you. Let the right leg come up. Let it bend. Let it open. A big stretch. Good. So feel that drop of the head. Bajando la cabeza y también tu pie. And then we're going to place the foot behind your hand. Ponemos la mano. Bueno, el pie detrás de la mano. And then we're going to come up and find a warrior two. So feel for a moment your sits bones. In the privacy of your own home, your sits bones under your rib cage, under your collarbones, and then the arms up. The brazos afuera. Good. I want you to take a second and just push through the arms so you feel the codos alineados. You're going to feel the elbows lined up with the shoulders but staying slightly beneath them. The wrist slightly above the codo, la muñeca sobre el codo, and then the hand above the wrist. And you can kind of just stretch, press out with the wrist just a few times. Good. And then from here, let's come take left hand, this is your right hand to your left hip, and stretch over for a moment. Inhale, coming up, stretching away for a moment. Inhale, coming right back up. Hand moves to the inner thigh, top arm over the ear. Good, a big stretch. And then hand right back to the hip. Let's elongate. Vamos a alargar la pierna abajo. And arriba. Good. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead, bend the back knee, step it in, walk my hand out one foot, and then just feel that leg lifting. Good. And an Ardha Chandrasana. So again, a right angle, stretching the two legs away from one another. Then vamos a bajar la pierna. You're going to lower that. Take a big step to the other side of the mat. And then let's just rock the weight just a little. Good. Again, stretch whatever you need to stretch. Notice whatever is tight to you. Good. And then from here, we'll take dos brazos arriba, two arms up. And vamos a bajar. You go lower down. Take a second to just bend and straighten the knees so you feel, again, blood flow, but release through the upper body. When you feel ready, go ahead, exhale, look that up, and place the hands, colocamos las manos debajo de los hombros, placing the hands behind the shoulders. We'll step the heels back, lift and open your chest. Set the knees down if you like. Take a little vinyasa. Inhaling up and exhale, lifting. Good. So now we're going to lift the left leg. Doblamos la rodilla. You're going to take that leg out. Afuera, afuera. And then from here, otra vez, yo pongo mi pecito detrás, bueno, de mi mano, and then I'm going to come push into the feet, bringing myself up. Inhale. Take a second to circle the wrist. Hacemos circulitos. Good. And then I want you to kind of comb here, bring your fingers together, reaching out into your hands. Good. Now create that reach and a little extension through the elbows out, fingers under and up, out, fingers under and up, reverse. So again, energy through your fingertips. And go ahead, stretch, reach away from your rodilla doblada y arriba. And then we're going to stretch hacia la rodilla doblada y arriba otra vez. Let's open those brazos. And then estiramos adelante. Come stretch forward. Good. So now you can take the top hand over your oreja, your arm over your ear, opening your chest. And then reaching that weight back. Feel your hamstring here, that connection from your big toe, your dedo gordo, hacia el isquillón. Good. And we're going to exhale. Take the hand to the hip, step the back foot in, walk the left hand out, your mano abajo. Good. And then find yourselves just floating up over the leg. Good. And then I'm just going to lightly, almost like I was doing a cartwheel, find my weight right back up to standing position. Let's come to the center of our mat. And we'll work for a little moment on some balance. So again, just kind of dance, release. Feel yourself creating some energetic opposition. So the hips can go one way, arms go the other. Good. Arms come up, tailbone moves up as the head comes down. And then exhale, pushing into the feet or right back up. So I'm going to gather weight in my right side, right foot. Take my hands for a moment just under my thigh. Ooh. So what do you do when you lose your balance? That was not very graceful for me, but we'll try it again. So anchor my weight in my right side. Hands here under my thigh. Let the thigh drop in. And then one arm comes up, other arm comes up. Good, the thigh bone pulls back and up. And then we're going to exhale, release, let that go. You're going to dance your weight into your feet. Vamos a intentarlo otro lado. So here we go, setting that foot down, toe, ball, heel. Hands under your muslo derecho. So taking your hands there under the thigh. Good, perhaps letting the brazos mover afuera. As you pull that sits bone down. Good. And then exhale, release, letting it go. And then once again, I just want you to move your body. So I'm going to create some big sweeps through my torso. Let them move out the other way. So just feeling my body connecting to those weight shifts. And then from here, I'm going to take my left foot, my pie izquierdo, hacia el muslo derecho. Good. So just hold here for a moment. Maybe your two arms come up. Maybe your two hands find your hips. Maybe you can bend and stretch down. And again, really let the head go. Good. And then we're going to push once again into that foot. Bring it up. and then walk it out. Just kind of allow it to relax. Good, and then again, check in. Where is your tension? Where are you holding it? Where can you release? Good, fingers, elbows, brazos. And then from here, I'm going to take my weight, left foot, toe, ball, heel. Lift the right, and exhale, let that foot come up for a moment. Feel my pelvis balancing, brazos arriba quizás. And then if you'd like to float over this leg, keeping that firmness, you can give it a go. And then from here, I'm going to push down through my foot once again, try to discover my balance. Lift and then release, release, release. So push up and away from the floor. Excellent. So now I'm going to turn to my right side. Place the hands on the low back. Right heel, ball, toe. Anchors to the floor in the center of the mat. Turn your left toes over now. Good. So you're letting that foot stretch. And then as it feels nice, you're going to exhale and lift. And then we're going to slowly set that down. And again, glide with your skeleton side to side. Okay, so if you've got tension, whatever, we're going to melt it out. Melt it out. Okay, so vamos a intentar el otro lado. Let's try it on the other side. I'm going to lift my pie izquierdo con un poco de mi peso aquí. Hands here to your lumbar, hacia la espalda baja, and then vamos a subir. And then exhale when you feel ready. Just let that release, coming right back up. Okay, and again, shake, release, let it go. Let's try another little. I'm having fun, so let's equilibrarnos un poco más. Take your left foot, lift it up. Hand to your muslo, or your hand to your foot, your pie a tu muslo, your foot to the thigh. Good. So let's apretar el pie, el muslo juntos. You're going to squeeze your foot and your thigh together. Good. Exhale, see if the arms want to float around. And slowly lower out in front. And then again, release, release, release. And so this is a lot to ask of your feet, right? These holding the whole weight of the body in these balancing poses. So giving yourself moments in between to let the body relax. Good. And also to make that mental shift, right? Between relaxed movement and then focused and precise movement. Okay. So let's see. Vamos a ver qué pasa cuando ponemos aquí your pie izquierdo. You're going to put the left foot down. Lift the right foot up. Find the foot and the thigh. Vamos a intentarlo otra vez. Good. And then let's see. Feel your tailbone moving down. Good. Just what are those sensations inside the body? Maybe letting the arms come up. Maybe letting them reverse. And then exhale once again, just light movement. So I want you to try push off from your right leg, lifting the left leg up. And just enjoy. It's almost like you're going to fly away. And then find that nice, steady, soft landing. Good. Let's try that on the other side. So now I'm going to push off from my left. Or I guess rather I'm pushing off from my right. Good. Letting that opposite leg fly up. Good. Finding that power through resistance in the floor. And last time here. And just exhale, release. Let all of that go. Let's see. Can we put our left foot over our right foot? Good. Just be here for a moment. Take your hands to your low back, la espalda baja. And then take a little forward bend over your two legs. Good. Let's push down into your feet to feel the body rise up. Let's try that on the other side. So again, relax, release. Crossing just the feet now. Y vamos a estirar los dedos afuera en el piso. So stretch your feet out into the floor. Y vamos a bajar otra vez. We're going to lower down once again. And then again, just feel that power rising up through the feet. We'll lift, lift, lift. Feel the glutes, the muslos, abrazando adentro. They're pulling in and up. Beautiful. Okay, so then unfolding the legs. Now I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to go left foot over my right. And then I'm going to hug and sort of sit down into it. Maybe as I sit down into it, my foot comes off the floor. Whoop, and maybe it hugs to the outside edge of my foot. Maybe my two arms come up. Maybe the left arm over the right, and we'll just breathe, Garudasana. Exhale, release, set the foot down, open it, and then once again, just relax, relax. Maybe jogging in place, right? We could all probably do a little more movement just throughout our day, por el día, so that we're not adolorados por todo el día. Apretados, adolorados. All right, so now I'm going to take my weight into my left foot, crossing over, and then just sitting down, sitting the weight, my hips back. Maybe that foot comes up. You just want to work on the legs, or maybe you want to cross the right arm over the left. Okay, grow the pose. So you feel yourself come up beyond, lengthening your torso, and then exhale, release, letting all of that go, go, go. Okay. Let's now put a blanket. Vamos a poner una manta en el centro del tapete. So put a blanket there in the center of your mat. And a ver, we're going to walk our weight out into it. So I'm coming now to the back of my mat. I'm going to inhale, take a big stretch of my arms up. And then here to my sides. Now feel the sternum extend, extend, extend. And your right hand reaches away from you. You can even take your gaze kind of into your armpit. I've got my left hand at my hip, la mano izquierda en la cadera izquierda. I'm going to try that same little reach. So my hips, torso, all of that stays exactly where it is. I'm just now reaching my left arm out as far as it can go. Good. Now take your hands back for a moment and vamos a colocar. You're going to put your 2 feet under your piecitos. This is Padasana, hand to foot pose. Y doblamos los codos. You're going to fold at the elbows. Eso. And then let's stretch and reach your hands out. And then walk the hands just nice and slow, steady, easy. So you're now out and maybe a little plank. And then we're going to let the knees come down, let the hips melt in, and start to feel yourself move through a Bhujangasana. Let's do a couple of back bends here. So start with the hands now moving really far away from your body.
And I want you to try lift the right leg and left arm up in the air. As you do this, you're going to pull evenly down through the hips and pelvis, pubic bone. So that triangle of those bones in the pelvis, of the pelvis are in the floor. Los huesos de la pelvis están allá. Bueno, equilibrados en el piso. Set them down. Y ahora la pierna izquierda. Now you're going to lift the left leg, your brazo derecho, your right arm, and feel as you do this that the bones of the pelvis, that triangle of your hip bones and the pubic bone, are anchored. Junto ancla ya en el piso. And then we're going to set that down. Everybody set it down in a rock. Vamos a meter lado y lado your low back. So rock the low back side to side. And then from here, pubic bone, hip bones, anchor, navel pulls in, and then the two legs lift off of the floor. Dos piernas subiendo, flotando desde el piso. So then I'm going to let my head and sternum float up also, and then perhaps let the arms float up also. So scoop in at your center. Don't let it push into the floor. Instead, try to pull the tailbone down, the thigh bones up. Breathe. Good. Really use those muscles in the back. Exhale, release. Palms are right underneath your shoulders for a moment. And now vamos a subir. I'm just going to lift and then take my palms from the floor. Look up over my hombro derecho. And as I do that, I'm going to push the hip bone down. So it's really about elevating from the floor. Take a breath. Por el centro. And then again, huesos de la pelvis abajo. And then your ombligo adentro, your navel in. And exhale, coming up. Now you're going to mirar sobre el hombro izquierdo. And I'm going to push the hip bones down to really feel that elevation through my rib cage. Squeezing the belly in. Good. Now let's take your hands así, aquí en tu columna. So you're taking the hands here to your low spine, la espalda baja. And then let's just bend and straighten your knees a few times. With your right knee bent, I want you to lift it up and kick, kick, kick. Good. With your pierna izquierda doblada, lift it up, kick, kick, kick. So I want you to again notice you lift the femur bone, but the bones of the pelvis stay right as they are. Arriba y abajo, arriba y abajo. Good. So now from here, I'm going to bend two knees. Maybe see, yo puedo alcanzar hacia mis tobillos. So I'm going to try to reach con mis manos with my hands hacia mis tobillos to my ankles. And then I'm going to lift the thigh bones up and then try that lift of my sternum. So kind of slow build into your Dhanurasana this morning. Good. This is just sometimes to me the most glorious of back bends. Exhale, see if you can roll it hacia la derecha, so you can roll to the right. Y vamos a ver, sí, podemos voltear aquí hacia la izquierda. Good. And then vamos a bajar todo eso. You're back in your center once again. So extend the two legs, kick the 10 toes into the floor, lift the sternum up, bring the palms, las palmas, debajo de los hombros, and then push the weight of the body up por los brazos, and then take a little down dog. Muy bien. Aquí ponemos las rodillas en el piso, so we'll put our knees on the floor. Aquí estamos. Arrodilladas. And then I'm going to take my antebrazos, my forearms, press them in, arriba y abajo. And then take my palmas juntas, pushing down, take the top of the head down, lift la pelvis arriba, lift your pelvis up, and then you can again practice that lightness, movimiento ligero, aquí en el piso. So then you may find you want to try lifting two legs. Si quieres. Good. So we'll just focus on getting those muslos verticales.
And then you can let the feet come down. Big stretch out over your legs. So bueno. And then from here, let's exhale. You could practice again if it was fun for you. A little bit of Bakasana. We've been working on that. So you would just press the palms down firm into the floor. I have my hands under my blanket. Now I'm going to take my rodillas hacia las axilas. So I'm going to take my knees towards my armpits while my tailbone comes down low. Ooh. So the trick being getting the tailbone to drop as the heels pull together. It's really about your core here. And keeping the knees up. A hard pose. I'll try it some more another time. So now vamos a bajar. I'm going to lower down into my mat. Y a ver. Okay, vamos a terminar. So I'm going to just take my hands here for a moment to my thighs, or bueno, detrás de mis muslos. Extend one leg, let it lower, extend the other leg. Let it lower, extend two legs, let the two arms float up, and just breathe 5 breaths. Good. Exhale, release that. Press your feet into the floor. Come twist over the rib cage. Good. Nos sentamos arriba. And then girando otro lado. Twisting to the other side. I'm now going to take 2 arms up. Palms under my shoulders. Extend the 2 legs. Purvattanasana. And now move your pelvis out so it's not on your blanket anymore. Arms out, and we're going to slowly bajar to the floor. We're going to lower down out of 10, 9, 8. So connecting your core the whole way, feeling when it wants to move away from you. How do you engage? 2 and 1. Brazos aquí en tu lado, arms here at your sides, knees over your chest. Now you can extend your legs, so heels up. Or if it feels nice, take the thighs over the face. You can maybe walk the shoulder blades together. Hands here to your hips. And then we'll pull the rodillas sobre los muslos. You're going to take the knees over your thighs, thighs over the hips. Now stretch and reach the legs back. And if you're feeling that verticality there, leg muscles helping you hold the legs up, we'll knit it all together. Good. And then I'm going to estirar mis piernas. I'm going to stretch my legs away. And slowly, bueno, queda hacia abajo, mover abajo, mi pelvis. So now try this. Vamos a empujar your codos en el piso. So push your elbows into the floor, lifting up. And then if you can come, vamos a descansar un ratito aquí. And then quizás tus brazos afuera. And from here, exhale, releasing down. Let's take your hands debajo de los hombros. Bueno, so take your hands here right underneath. Push your feet into the floor, subiendo la pelvis arriba. And then exhale, lifting up. Maybe you can feel your palms getting firm as you lift. Good, vamos a bajar la cabeza. So again, you don't always have to come all the way up. Maybe you just lift the pelvis. Maybe you just come onto the top of the head. Good, so vamos a mover aquí los pies anchos. You're going to take the feet wider than the mat. I'm going to take my right leg over my left and my gaze, my vista hacia la derecha. Good, llenándome con aire, filling yourself with air. And then vamos a cambiar lado. So I'm going to take that leg. And then voy a mirar sobre mi lado izquierdo. Good. And then desde aquí, subiendo otra vez. Let's just let the feet come together and open the palms for a moment. Maybe now open the legs. Y vamos a respirar. Let's take a few breaths and slow them down. Vamos a hacer más despacio la respiración. Letting your breath travel all the way through you. The extent of your inhale, the depth of your exhale. Desde aquí vamos a menear un poco los dedos de la mano, dedos del pie. So just wiggle for a moment, fingers and toes. Hacemos circulitos con las muñecas, making circles with your wrists y también los tobillos. Estiramos afuera, stretching everything out. And then girando un lado, turning to one side. And then we'll come, nos sentamos aquí, las palmas juntas. We'll sit together, palms together, bajando la cabeza, cerrando los ojos, lowering the head, closing the eyes. Tu práctica es un regalo. Your practice is a gift. Muchísimas gracias. Disfruta tu día. Namaste.